Welcome in to the final night of Week 1 to kick off Season 14 of the Simulation Football League. We are live on 11 Sports Network and for the fans. Welcome in, and we are doing our first ever Simulation Football League broadcast from Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Cade Stevens, Mike Improda on stats along with Frank Gooden, and we want to welcome you guys in to this epic matchup here. And Cade, this is going to be a good one tonight, my friend.
Eric, super exciting. A nice way to kind of cap off the final day, I know, of Week 1 SFL action. The first game at home for the Jacksonville Kings in the regular season after moving over from Tallahassee. This should be exciting.
Yes, sir. And we've got two teams here, both differing matchups basically on Atlanta more offensive, Jacksonville more defensive, at least as far as their stats go from the season before, excuse me. And looks like we're going to have a heck of a matchup here tonight.
An unstoppable force and immovable object, Eric. Let's see if these two teams can live up to the way they finished last year and get this season kicked off the right way.
Number 1 and number 2 as far as passing yards are concerned last season, going head-to-head tonight. Who will be victorious? Who will emerge superior? We will find out right now, live on 11 Sports and for the fans here in Jacksonville, Florida. Ball is on the tee. We are ready to go. Shane Short is going to get us underway. Fielded inside the 5-yard line. Jacksonville will have the ball to start things off, and the Kings will return it out to about the 26-yard line, and that is where Christian Christensen will take over. He is the leader of this offense, Cade, and man, he put up mad numbers the season before.
He sure did, Eric, and at 6'6", 235 pounds, he's not an easy guy to tackle when he tries to move as well. He has no trouble seeing over the offensive line, makes quick decisions, good decisions. Let's see if maybe that'll keep up here.
First and 10 here, handoff. And that is to Jared Willis, the newcomer, free agent acquisition coming over from Queen City. He gets a gain of 3 to start things off for the Kings.
Nice little run by Willis. You'll take what you can get to start the game. Start chipping away, soften up that defense just a little bit, and that'll give Christensen an opportunity to take a shot here before too long.
The other weapons Christensen has on offense are Hunter Jones, Grayson Willis, Ken Gossett, and the rookie free agent signing Jack Wall. Christensen's going to throw for his first time in Season 14, and it is going to be a completion out to the 33-yard line. That's Ken Gossett with his first catch.
Ken Gossett, first catch of the evening. A nice little toe drag there on the sideline for the catch. That's going to bring up a nice manageable 3rd and 3 for the Jacksonville Kings here.
3rd and 3 from the 33. We'll see if 3 is their lucky number. Atlanta stacking the box here. 7 total in the box. Heavy formation for the Kings. Instead, they're going to throw into traffic there and complete. And that's going to be a first down. Ken Gossett once again with another catch, and this time he'll move the chains.
A great catch by Gossett. A little bit of a nail-biter of a throw there, Eric, but Gossett was definitely a go-to guy for Christensen last year. He had 118 catches for over 1,300 yards and 9 touchdowns. We'll see if once they get into the red zone, if they can make it that far, if the trend continues.
So they'll bring up a fresh set of downs here for the Kings. Again, going heavy set. And again, Christensen will throw just a little check down there as he's got his man out to the 46-yard line. Gain of 3. We'll get a look at this Atlanta Swarm defense here. Tim Cleland and Joshua Williams down there in the trenches. Dylan Rowland, Aquana Shine, the legendary linebackers there, coming back for Atlanta once again. Jack Napier, Blake Hamrick, Blake Chance, Jay Miraculous moving over to safety this season, and Aaron Lee will round out this defense. Christensen changing things up at the line. He's got an I formation to start things off on 2nd down. He's going to hand it off, and Willis will have nowhere to go. He's going to make it just past the line of scrimmage, maybe just a chest hair more, and it's going to end up being 3rd and 6 coming up.
Aaron Lee coming up from the strong safety position, number 20 there, giving Willis a hard time, kind of met him at the line of scrimmage. A nice stop there for Atlanta.
So 3rd and manageable now. Just shy of midfield. 4 wide receivers to work with. Willis, the lone back in the backfield. Christensen to throw. Checks it down to Willis, and I don't think he was ready for that football, kid. He drops it, and that's going to end up being a 4th down.
Eric, he's probably going to want that one back. I think that Jacksonville is hopefully not going to look back on this moment knowing that they potentially had an easy 1st down. There's no guarantee he gets that. There was a defender coming up on him that still may have stopped him short, but still, you got to don't think ahead. Catch the ball and then make your play. He was already running by the time the ball got there.
8:27 to go here in the opening frame. Howard McCoy with his first punt of the evening. And it's going to bounce at about the 10-yard line, and what a punt. Trickle on down to the Atlanta 2-yard line, and that is where Jacksonville will down it. Atlanta will have their first crack deep in their own territory. Marcus Dunhill coming out, his 4th season with the team.
Well, you got to be happy with that punt there if you're Jacksonville. It's really going to put a lot of pressure on Marcus Dunhill and the offense here. Smart move, and I'm not a play caller, Eric, but I'm giving Hollywood the ball. I'm sitting right at the middle. Get a little more breathing room.
We'll see if that's what they do here on 1st down. Instead, Dunhill's going to take a 7-step drop. He's going to air it out deep into coverage, and it's caught. What a play, and that's Jamal Wooding. He made tons of plays like this last season. Over 1,100 yards receiving, 2nd most for a tight end in the SFL.
Wooding with a textbook over the top of the defender catch there. I believe they called that getting mossed when I was a kid, Eric. That was pretty impressive.
Is that what the young people call it?
I think the young people refer to something like that.
Okay, all right. Well, that is certainly what it looks like there. Just a perfectly thrown ball, and man, way to get out of the shadow of your own end zone all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Nothing like a little extra breathing room there.
Oh, absolutely. That wasn't quite what you had in mind, though, was it?
Not quite, but I'll take it any day of the week.
Dunhill in trouble, though, and he's going to get sandwiched back there in the backfield. Hunter Norwood and company applying the pressure.
A nice shed of the block there. I mean, a Norwood coming in, making a play along with Hale. And, we talked about getting yourself a little breathing room. It's a good thing they weren't out on the 15 or the 10. They would have given quite a bit of it back. But that's okay. 2nd and 16 still manageable. You'd like to get at least half of that here on 2nd down. Give yourself a manageable 3rd down.
2 backs in the backfield this time for Dunhill, BDG Hollywood, and Ryan. Siege Falco, Boot Chisholm, Dave Axis, the wide receivers, and we've seen Jamal Wooding already. Throwing into coverage is Dunhill, and that is tipped and incomplete. We'll get to the Kings defense here quickly. Sir Chappelle there on the defense as the ball falls incomplete. Taekwon Hill, we've seen him along with Hunter Norwood down in the trenches. Kevin Bain, the other defensive end. J.R. Lawless, Chad Guy, the free agent signee coming over from the now defunct Sharks. Michael Sprouse, Bernard Gooden, Anthony Wyo, Alex Bond, and Succo Lamano. 3rd and forever, it seems now, for Atlanta. Dunhill to throw, steps up in the pocket. He's going to air it out. Into coverage, tipped and incomplete. That was batted down back there. I was trying to see, I think that was Michael Sprouse that got in there and batted it away.
Nice play and nice read by Sprouse. I mean, it was a good throw coming out of the pocket there by Dunhill, and if he could have just put a little bit more air underneath it, it might have got there for completion.
So 2 punts to start things off here for each team. Chris Smith going to be the punter here for Atlanta. Low snap. Tallahassee coming after it. Excuse me, Jacksonville. It was bound to happen. I knew it was going to happen once. And then fielded at about the 30-yard line. Brings it up to the 34. And that is where we will take a short break. You are watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music. We're live on 11 Sports and for the fans. Stay with us. Back here live in Jacksonville as the Kings take over for their second possession of the ball game. 7:05 left to go here in the opening frame from the 34-yard line, 1st and 10. Christensen under center, 2 backs behind him. He's going to take a short drop, throws it over the middle. That's caught. A good gain there on first down, and we'll get a look here at the Kings offense. The points per game, they were very dominant for a couple seasons ago there, and have kind of tapered off, Cade, as that graphic kind of shows us here.
It shows a little bit. It's been a high-powered offense in recent years. Up to season 12, they dropped off a little bit, and the league as a whole dropped off last year just slightly as they sort of reclaimed a little bit of the dominance they held on offense. It'll be interesting to see, moving to Jacksonville here, if they can get back to the top of the league, continue the high-powered offense that we saw in years past.
And definitely going from 10th to 6th is certainly, no easy feat, but we're used to seeing Tallahassee, Jacksonville now on top as far as scoring offense is concerned, and it's plays like this that keep them on top as Willis is able to turn it upfield, get first down yardage and more.
A nice little slip slide on the side of the field there. Willis, nice move. I was worried for a second as he caught it. He might have gone out of bounds, but man, he put the brakes on, got upfield just in time for a nice gain and a first down. They're going to move those chains, Eric.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1st and 10. Now in opponent's territory from the 48-yard line of Atlanta as we get a look at Willis. Trips towards the top of your screen here. 4 wideouts total for Christensen to work with here on first down. He's going to hand it off to Willis, and man, he's met at the line of scrimmage in a hurry. What a hit there by Aquanis Shine, the longtime linebacker. And he is a tackling machine, Cade.
Tackling machine indeed, sir. Yeah, nice move up the middle there. Shed the block real quick, got in the backfield, and met Willis behind the line of scrimmage. Still made it back for a no gain there, but great play on the defensive line.
4 down lineman for Atlanta. As Christensen is going to swing it out to Willis. Jared tries to throw the stiff arm, and guess who? Aquanis Shine once again laying the lumber and stopping him for a minimal gain. 3rd down coming up.
Shine might be one of those players to watch in this game here, Eric. I like what Jacksonville's trying to do. It looks like they're trying to spread the field out a little bit, empty the box a little bit more, but Shine's having none of it. He's making plays in the backfield. He's making plays on the sideline, and something tells me he's going to keep making plays.
Speaking of spreading it out here, Christensen going empty in the gun. Pressure's coming around him, and he's going to go down. Took a little bit too long there in the backfield as Mickens gets in there and registers his first sack of the ball game.
And Mickens was not alone in his effort on that play. The entire defensive line had significant penetration from the start. It just looked to me like Christensen didn't really stand much of a chance.
So it brings up a 4th and long. Shout-outs to some folks there in the chat. Swole 2011, Dave Axe, C. Pundy, A.J. Jackson, Siege Falco, among many others, as the punt gets away, and it's looking like it's going to be close again, but this one's going to fall into the end zone for a touchback. Atlanta having a little bit more breathing room on offense, but shoot, that's not great. Average starting field position, kid.
McCoy, a man on a mission right now. That's a couple of good punts in a row, just one bounce in a better direction, and that's another really, really tough spot for the Atlanta Swarm.
Setting up shop here at the 20. Handoff, that goes to BDG Hollywood, his first carry of the ball game, and we've seen how dangerous a runner he can be as he gets a couple yards out to the 23-yard line.
And a great block out there. Hollywood coming out to the left. A solid gain on first down. 1st and 3. First down, 3-yard gain, sorry. And they'll see if they can try to loosen that up a little bit more on that Jacksonville defense.
We have seen nothing but punts so far here in this ball game. Can Atlanta give us our first points here with 4 minutes left to go in the opening frame? Wobbler over the middle is batted down. And there was plenty of Jacksonville Kings out there. I'm not sure where Dunhill was throwing it this time.
Alex Bond wasn't fooled on that particular play. If he, maybe a second later, and the ball's probably picked off instead of knocked down, but a great read and a great play trying to go over the middle. And you could also switch the narrative on that and say if that ball is just a little bit higher by Dunhill, then I'm sure he's off to the races, and that's possibly a touchdown.
3rd and 7. Hollywood sidecar left. Dunhill, quick throw down to the bottom of the screen. Led him a bit too far out of bounds as Siege Falco makes the catch, but it is out of bounds, incomplete, 4th down.
A solid effort by Falco's quarterback's got to help him out a little bit more on that one. Get the ball inside where he can catch it and make a play for the offense.
So again, Cade, we're going to see another punt. Just back and forth we go with the punting.
Well, if you're Atlanta, you got to hope you can at least get a boomer out here and try to flip the field a little bit more. Any sort of lackluster punt is going to give Jacksonville majorly good field position here.
And Jacksonville content with setting up the return. No block this time around as it's fielded right around the 45-yard line out to the 47. And again, Cade, as you mentioned, good starting field position, and that's been the story so far here. Jacksonville has had great starting field position to start things off. Atlanta, not so much.
Yeah, it's been a tale of two cities, if you will, but Jacksonville at some point has got to take advantage of the fact that they've had good field position to start most of the game. This is your best opportunity. Ball's at the 47. Let's see if you can get some points out of it.
Handoff, Jared Willis bounces it to the outside, lowers his shoulder, and gang tackled after a gain of 4 there. Dylan Rowland coming in there and getting the second stop along with Blake Chance.
Yeah, good run by Willis, getting out to the left and lowering the shoulder, giving a little bit of boom back to that defense. Gaining 4 yards, giving the offense a nice 2nd and 6.
Second down here from the 49, 3:15 and counting left to go here in the opening quarter. Christensen to throw into coverage, caught as that's going to be close to a first down. 3rd and inches coming up here. Gossett with a little bit of a mismatch there on Naquan Sean.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. It was a quick drop, quick decision. I like the choice there by Christensen. He knew where he wanted to go with that football from the moment that the play was called, and just a shame they couldn't quite get all the way to the first down, but solid play call.
3rd and short. Christensen going to throw here, and a wide open man. It's caught, and it's going to be first down out to the 33-yard line. This time it is Grayson Willis with the catch. He had over 1,000 yards a season to go.
And Christensen had a check down. He could have easily dumped it to Willis for a first down. He was not content with that. Got the ball out there to Grayson Willis for a really nice gain on that play. And a first down, Eric, they're going to move those chains.
Jacksonville on a drive here. Can they get points on the board? Christensen, good pocket, throws it into coverage, and that should have been going the other way. Gossett, the intended wide receiver, but Dylan Rowland had his number read the whole way.
He sure did. That was good read. Coming up, knocking the ball away. Gossett has clearly been the favorite target so far for Christensen, and you don't want to force the guy the ball. He's a playmaker, clearly. He's a guy who can go get those 50-50s. But take what the defense is giving you here.
Second down, Willis the lone back in the backfield. 3 wideouts for Christensen. Quick throw over the middle, and that's caught. A forward progress gets him across the line to gain for a first down. That is Hunter Jones as he makes it out to the Atlanta 22.
The quick seams over the middle are working right now for Jacksonville. That's the second time on this drive they've hit one, this one for a first down.
Jacksonville with their first sustained drive of the ball game, really for either team so far. 4 down linemen for the Swarm. Christensen, again, short drop, check down, and that's caught again for a good 5 or 6 yards. And Cade, it looks like that's what Jacksonville is content doing here, just these little dink and dunk throws, trying to spread out the defense a little bit.
It's true. And Eric, remember, I said you got to take what the defense is going to give you. Christensen and the Jacksonville Kings have clearly seemed to have figured that out. Defense has given up these short drops and quick passes, dinks and dunks, if you will, so far. And, man, they're taking advantage of them.
Christensen again with a quick throw, and again, they will move the sticks. Again, it is Ken Gossett with another catch. That is his 5th off of 6 targets.
Impressive, sir. Impressive. Christensen so far, 10 for 12, 83%, but it's a 6-yard per average throw, and that just tells you that they are having no issues dropping back and dumping these 7-yard passes every time. And, hey, if you can do that all the way to the end zone, why not?
Jacksonville going to come out in the gun. Willis sidecar right. Christensen going to throw it over the middle. A little bit of a crossing route. That's going to get them moderate yards out to the 3-yard line of Atlanta. And that is Grayson Willis with the catch.
Grayson Willis, a nice grab, secured, went down, made sure that the ball wasn't going to be loose. I'm impressed. I mean, they're looking prior to this drive, we were looking for a little bit of dominance. We were looking for somebody who was going to do a little something different. We might see our first points of the game here, Eric.
Let's see if that's the case. Christensen going to throw it out to Willis, who cannot keep his feet in bounds. He was ready to turn the corner and did so, but not after he had already ran out of bounds. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 4 coming up here.
Willis awfully close, but Christensen's got to lead him inside just a little bit more. If you're going to take the check down, at least give your running back an opportunity to catch the football.
And we have reached the end of the first quarter, scoreless here in the first game in Jacksonville history here in the SFL. You're watching the Simulation Football League. We're live on 11 Sports, and for the fans, stay with us. Second quarter about to get underway here in Jacksonville. Want to give a shout out to all those fine folks in the chat right now. DeBrown Knight, Realistance Kumbaya, Coach Craven, the Lominator, Jack Walls FL, I'm a effing problem, Mince in Mind, along with many others, as Jacksonville trying to convert this 3rd down. Atlanta's defense is out there in the open field. That's Aquana Shine once again with another tackle, and Jacksonville will have to settle for a field goal.
Shine making plays in this game. It continues on to this drive here, stuffing them when it mattered the most. Willis and Christensen tried the hook up again, the swing outside. He led him much nicer this time, but the defense, Atlanta, was not fooled at all. They're going to have to settle for a field goal.
Just a chip shot here. About 19 yards from the spot. Bit of an awkward snap. Gets it down, up and through. 18 yards is the official from Richard Douglas. And they have their first points in Jacksonville history here, Cade.
Impressive. They've scored the first points here at Kings Lair. It's the beginning of a new era here in Duval County, Florida. The River City, the First Coast. Let's see if they can keep going. We'd like nothing more than to see success for Jacksonville in their first game in Jacksonville. But don't forget, Atlanta is a formidable team, and they have something to say about that.
Will they take the lead here on this possession? Let's find out, as the Swarm will take it up to about the 30-yard line. That is where they will mark them down. And that's where the Swarm will take over once again. Have not had a ton of success there, as Dave Axis, the 14th overall pick, makes the return. And, Cade, like we mentioned before, just punt after punt after punt so far.
Yeah, punt after punt, and correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, this, I believe, is Atlanta's best starting field position of the game. I'd like to see if they can do something with it here.
100%. Full house formation to start things off. BDG Hollywood with room up the middle, and he's going to get a good chunk of 7 yards as he's dragged down at the Atlanta 38.
Well, apparently BDG Hollywood did have something to say about that. I'm sure he would have liked to rip that one off for a nice run to the end zone, but I'll tell you what, 7 yards is a good start.
Sir Chappelle with the stop on the play brings up 2nd and short. Dunhill under center, Hollywood the lone back. Dunhill to throw, quickly throws, and he's got Siege Falco, his first catch of the ball game, as he tiptoes out of bounds for first down yardage out to the 42-yard line.
A great read by Dunhill, great catch by Falco. It looked like a late blitzer coming in from Jacksonville there. A good pickup by the offensive line, quick throw, first down. Let's see if maybe we get a little bit of a sustained drive from Atlanta this time around.
Offset I formation this time, as Hollywood gets a handoff, hurdles a defender, spin move, and does get tackled eventually at the 46-yard line. Jacksonville doing a good job keeping BDG bottled up, because that spin move is absolutely lethal, Cade.
It is. He's got a gnarly spin cycle there, and I'll tell you, Eric, when he first took the ball on that handoff, I saw a hole that I believe you could have probably driven a truck through, and Jacksonville with a phenomenal job of closing that up, bottling him up for just a 3-yard gain on that play.
Dunhill doesn't like something at the line. He's going to change things up. Quick handoff. Hollywood trying to break free, and again is bottled up right at the line of scrimmage. That's good defense there by Chris Young, one of the extra linebackers they had in the formation.
Got to throw a little extra credit to Hollywood on that one. He was hit about 2 yards in the backfield and still managed to make somebody miss for what I thought was going to be a little bit more of a gain, but he got a yard out of it. That's still impressive, Eric.
100%. Big fan of BDG Hollywood. Love seeing him run the football. This time he is just not going anywhere. Jacksonville defense is having none of that. Hunter Norwood getting in there, making his second big play on the Kings defense, and Atlanta is going to have to punt again.
I got to say, Eric, just a little bit of a different, or I guess a interesting play call there on 3rd down and 6 to try to run the ball when you haven't had a ton of success so far. I mean, I can't say I blame Atlanta for making the effort, but Jacksonville clearly snuffed that one out, almost like they knew what was coming.
So again, Atlanta not able to sustain a drive here so far, but good special teams coverage as they knock down Jacksonville inside their own 20. That's where Christensen will take over. Will they add more points to the board? Stay with us. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back here in Duval County, 3-0 your score in favor of the hometown Kings over the visiting Atlanta Swarm. This is the Simulation Football League. Christensen with his first play from scrimmage after that punt, and it is a catch for 6 yards out to the 21. Get a look at the last meeting here between these two squads. Back when Jacksonville was in Tallahassee as the Pride, and Christensen threw 5 interceptions, yet somehow was able to come up with the win, Cade.
You know, it's a really rare statistic, Eric, I got to say, to see that your team loses the turnover differential, not just overall, but to throw or to turn the ball over as a quarterback 5 times, and your team still make up. I sincerely hope that he took everybody out to dinner that he possibly could. Hopefully it was a nice place, maybe a nice bottle of whiskey, maybe a scotch, something, because to do that as a quarterback and still win the game is incredibly impressive.
And it looks like Atlanta actually had challenged the ruling on the field that it was a catch, which they then lost. Very clearly got that foot in bounds, only needing 1 foot here in the SFL to complete a catch. So Atlanta will lose a timeout on that challenge, Cade.
Yeah, they sure will, and I got to answer the Vancouver Legion here. Yes, he was in bounds, and Cade Stevens was also in bounds.
2nd and 4 from the 21. Christensen, pressure coming. He's going to throw it far sideline, incomplete. That was great coverage out there by the corner. And, man, that could have easily been going the other way. Coverage made by Jack Napier.
Yeah, Napier with a great read there. As the ball threw and he closed in on it, there was a split second where I felt like time might have stopped just slightly, Eric. I thought he was going to walk into the end zone after making the interception. Just happened to knock the ball away, and Jacksonville lives to see another day.
That brings up a 3rd and 4. Christensen, another short drop. He has time. He's going to throw it over the middle for another first down. And that'll move those chains once again. This time, tossing it out to Jason Stackhouse, one of the extra tight ends in the formation.
And, I was just curious a little bit. Jacksonville came out and acted like they weren't going to continue to go back to their 6-yard, 7-yard dink and dunk game plan that they had that worked so well on the last drive. And then here we go on the most previous play, jumping it off the Stackhouse. It looks like they were content to get back to it, and that'll give them a first down.
Looks like Atlanta came out in a little bit of a zone there. That's probably why the tight end was able to find a cushion there and get the 6 or 7 yards needed for the first down. Christensen changing things up. He's got trips towards the top of the screen. Christensen's going to swing it out to Willis, and he tries to throw a stiff arm tackle in the open field by Blake Chance.
It looked like a design swing to the running back Willis there. Willis, nice job catching the ball, getting upfield for a 5-yard gain. Gives the team a nice manageable 2nd down and 5.
And this has been what Jacksonville has wanted to do so far here in the first half. They've gone through a lot of this clock here, just doing those 5 or 6 yard plays. And again, we're going to see another one, this time for a first down, as Jacksonville continues to extend their drive. Christensen throwing it 20 times and completing 17 already.
17 already, and a nice catch there again by Willis. Willis making plays as well. Let's not forget about him. Get up the field. He got a first down for the team there.
Yeah, Grayson Willis with another catch. Right out to around midfield. 1st and 10. 2 backs in the backfield for Christensen. Blitz coming. Christensen throws it, tipped and incomplete. And it looked like he had a little bit of a mismatch out there towards the top of the screen, but Aaron Lee read it the whole way, smacked down the ball to the turf.
Lee sure did, and that's something I can say about Atlanta's defense is when Jacksonville has got out of the habit of doing these 5 or 6 yard dumps, and they try to go outside or a little bit further down the field. Atlanta's reading this nicely, and they're getting a lot of pass breakups. That's probably helped the cause quite a bit.
Certainly has. Christensen again, quick throw. This time a little too high for the receiver. Had to jump up and get it. That's Jack Wall, the rookie, as he makes his first catch in the SFL, as it's only for a gain of about a yard.
Well, it was quite the athletic catch. It's just a darn shame that it only went for about a yard there, but one that he, may remember. It was his first.
Hey, got to hold on to the football, man. Put it in the trophy case.
Yes, sir. There's a spot on the mantle for that, baby.
Yes, sir. 3rd down from midfield. Christensen, deep drop. He's going to throw it over the middle and almost came up with it. Instead, it is incomplete. Grayson Willis almost made the acrobatic catch in coverage, but it's going to bring up a 4th down and another punt.
Aaron Lee, once again, has something to say about this passing game down the field. A nice breakup by him. Good read on the play. That Atlanta secondary is starting to show up a little bit here.
So a good stand here by the Swarm defense. They'll get the football back. Good punt by Jacksonville. Fair caught at about the 20-yard line. And in fact, that is where they will mark it. We will see how Atlanta does with this next possession on the other side of the break. You're watching the Simulation Football League live on 11 Sports. And for the fans, stay with us. Back here live in Duval County, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line for the Atlanta Swarm. 5:27 left to go here in the first half. 3-0 your score in favor of the Jacksonville Kings. Marcus Dunhill under center here. He'll have BDG Hollywood as the back. Dunhill steps up into pressure, and he gets crunched as the ball floats out of his hand, and that's going to bring up a second down. BDG Hollywood, really the bell cow for this Atlanta offense here, as he almost had over 1,000 yards in receiving. That was the most in the SFL.
Most in the SFL, he was so close to being a double 1K rushing and receiving running back. It would have been something fun to see, but hey, there's nothing that says he can't do it again. He's not off to the greatest of start if he has ambitions of trying to claim that title this year.
Well, he's going to get a handoff here and throws a spin move. Good open field tackle made by the Tallahassee defense. Anthony Wyo coming up and making the stop. His first season here in Jacksonville after spending some time in Houston.
Welcome to Duval County, man. I mean, you got to say, what a nice move away from Houston. You got the beach. I mean, what's better than that?
That's true. Plenty of good bars out there, too. We hit those up before we hit the broadcast today.
We sure know about that, don't we?
Dunhill in trouble. He's going to go down. Pocket was collapsing, and you almost sensed that he was going to go down there in the backfield. And a good celebration there by Kevin Bain.
Kevin Bain, great move up the middle, even potentially slightly held along with, it appears, 97 as well. But great sack. I mean, you got to know Marcus Dunhill, the timer's got to go off, man. You got to get rid of the football. He had longer than he probably should have, but good sack. Jacksonville's going to get the ball back.
Another punt here. It has been a game of punts, basically, here in the first half, as Jacksonville will get good starting field position courtesy of Swain out to the 43-yard line. Really the only drive that we've seen that was we've had a couple decent drives, but the only scoring drive was that field goal make there from Jacksonville.
Yeah, only scoring drive was the field goal. They were on the doorstep of the end zone. Other than that, these kickers are earning their money about today in Northeast Florida.
Christensen will get another crack at it here with 4:21 left to go here in the first half. Another short drop, quick throw down towards the bottom of the screen. That's Gossett once again. He has been very, very busy as he's caught his 7th ball now on 8 targets.
You got to get it to your playmaker. Gossett, clearly a guy who can go up and get the football and make a play. A nice 7-yard gain on first down. I'd be interested to see on this drive if Jacksonville tries to get him just a little bit more involved, make some plays, potentially get into the end zone.
Trips towards the top of the screen here for Christensen. He's going to take a 3-step drop and throws it seemingly to no one there. I wonder if maybe the receiver got tied up in coverage.
Potentially so. There might have been a miscommunication on the route he was supposed to run. Hard to tell. Outside of that, Eric, you may be right. He might have got caught up in coverage there.
So that brings up a 3rd and short right from midfield. 3:50 frozen on the clock. 2 wideouts towards the top of the screen. Willis sidecar right for Christensen. Atlanta stacking the box. Showing blitz. They'll back out into coverage. Quick throw towards the top of the screen. Wide open. And that's going to be a first down out to the 38-yard line. And that's Grayson Willis with another catch.
A nice little check down for the first down by Christensen there. I mean, if you look at the stats he's had so far for the game, he's 21 and 27, a nice 77% completion percentage. The yards per attempt up to 5 yards now after that last catch. They're content to continue dinking and dunking. If it works, then don't get away from it.
Absolutely. Christensen bombs it out one-on-one, and he's got the first down. What a catch made there on the sideline by Willis.
A great catch by Willis. Absolutely, the guy is making plays. He's getting it ready to show up here. It appears that was actually incomplete, though, Eric. You might have let him just a little far out of bounds.
Yeah, and honestly, just at first glance, I thought he might have gotten that foot in bounds. My apologies. It does end up being an incompletion. Jacksonville content with not throwing the challenge flag there.
A solid effort anyways.
Absolutely. Great catch. 2nd down from the 38. Atlanta stacking the box. Willis going to get the handoff. He's got plenty of room towards the outside, bouncing it off tackle, and he'll get it out to the 33-yard line for a gain of 6.
He had a really nice hole out there that was actually opened up by none other than 84, Mr. Ken Gossett himself, leading upfield. It would have been nice to see him turn a little bit, turn them afterburners on just a little bit more to try to make something out of that. But 6 yards, I'm sure they'll take it. It's a manageable 3rd and 4.
Clock ticking, under 3 minutes to go here in the half. Christensen going to air it out into coverage, picked off. Blake Chance going the other way. He's got a little bit of a convoy and will get tackled right around the 27-yard line, and this defense has shown up to play today.
I mean, bend but not break, right, Eric? I mean, that's all that Atlanta's done so far. They've let Jacksonville move and move and move, but when it comes down to it, they make the plays to stop them. Once again, Atlanta's defense is showing up. Hopefully the offense can reward the effort on this next drive.
And the chat gets the pickle that they were looking for there. Not quite the pickle 6, but they do get the first turnover of the ball game out to the 27-yard line, where Dunhill will take over. Offset I formation, 2 wideouts towards the bottom of the screen. Handoff. Hollywood gets laid out right at the line of scrimmage. Good defense there by Jacksonville. And that was Wyo coming up and laying the lumber.
Jacksonville doing a really solid job at stopping BGD Hollywood so far. I mean, it's just nothing doing once again. I'm sure that Atlanta would like to get a little bit more going in the run game.
One more play here, probably before the 2-minute warning. Dunhill airs it out deep, tipped up in the air and incomplete. He was going for that 50 ball there to siege Falco, but Sprouse with some great coverage results in the incompletion.
An incompletion indeed, and I just want to bounce back. Hollywood up to 7 attempts for just a measly 16 yards on the game, 2.3 yards a carry. I mean, for a guy who's supposed to be your workhorse, you'd like for the offensive line to open up just a little bit more room for him. At the same time, your quarterback, Dunhill's not doing a lot of favors as far as stretching it out and emptying the box.
Yeah, 100%. You definitely expect Hollywood to have a little bit more active defense, but so far, just has not been the case. Dunhill and Chisholm and company been a little bit more content to air it out. We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 9. Dunhill throw. He is going to throw some loft on it, tipped up in the air and incomplete. About 3 different Kings had an opportunity to pick that off, but it falls to the turf, and we'll get yet another punt from Atlanta.
There was about 5 different Jacksonville Kings in the area of that football and just one other Atlanta Swarm member. I'm not sure what Dunhill had in mind with that particular throw, but to each their own.
So again, we see another punt. Gets the football away after Jacksonville throwing some pressure. And tackled right around the 35-yard line with 1:59 left to go. We have hit the 2-minute warning. And we will come back here in just a moment. Stay with us. You're watching the Simulation Football League, live on 11 Sports and for the fans. Minute 59 to go here in Jacksonville. 3-0 your score in favor of the Kings. Christensen and company with the football. Jacksonville with 3 timeouts. Atlanta with 2. Christensen to throw. Pressure coming. Throws it over the middle, and that's caught. Good spin move. And a first down yardage out across midfield to the 44-yard line. What a play there by Hunter Jones.
Hunter Jones just put the defender on skates on that one. That was a really nasty spin move, and man, I am almost shaking in my seat here just watching it happen, Eric. That was a nice play. Nice spin, nice throw, nice catch, nice run. Let's make it happen.
Christensen, short drop again, throws it up for Ken Gossett, who gets it once again. And man, this has been the Ken Gossett show on Jacksonville's offense, Cade.
It sure has. I mean, listen, if it's working and the guy's making plays, you have no reason to go away from it. And like I said earlier, don't try to force him the ball, but if he's getting in a position where you think he can go get it, there's no reason not to try to get him the football, and that's exactly what appears to be happening.
So it ends up being a first down, and just like that, close to the SFL red zone, out to the 29-yard line of Atlanta. I formation this time around for the Kings. Clock frozen at 1:27. Christensen again throws an out route. That's caught and going to be tackled inbounds. A good gain of 6 there, and that's Ken Gossett once again.
Gossett, a nice in, nice out, quick decision, quick read by Christensen, getting it out there for a nice gain on first down that gives them an easy, manageable, I shouldn't say easy, manageable 2nd and 4. Let's see if they can make something happen. They are just 3 yards from the Atlanta red zone.
Nothing ever easy as we hit 60 seconds to go here in the first half. Handoff. Willis trying to find some room right at the line of scrimmage and goes nowhere. 3rd and short coming up. No huddle for Jacksonville. Christensen in trouble. He's going to get sacked, and that's going to force Jacksonville to burn a timeout and set up for a field goal. And that was not what they were looking for here after a promising start to the opening drive there.
No, I got to say, you got to be a little bit disappointed. Once again, they've driven all the way down in scoring range and not able to do too much with it. Right before halftime, I'm sure they would have liked to come away with an additional 7 points. I think 10 looks just a little bit better than 6, and you still got to make the field goal here.
And this one, no gimme either. Richard Douglas sets up from 42. Low snap, pressure coming, gets it away. And it is through from 42 yards. That was definitely looking a little sweaty there, Cade, but 3 more points added to the Kings' total there.
Yeah, man, my dentist is not going to be happy with me. Definitely grinded the teeth a little bit on that one when I saw the low snap, but good recovery, good kick. They're going to go up 6-0 here. Maybe let's see if Atlanta can use their 2 timeouts in 40 seconds to try to make something happen here.
Yeah, 40 seconds, still plenty of time here, especially with a talented arm like Marcus Dunhill. Threw for over 4,200 yards last season, 27 touchdowns. Let's see what they can do here as Axis gets the return, and he will bring it out to the 29-yard line. And, Cade, what are you kind of expecting here from Atlanta's offense with about 37 seconds to go, 2 timeouts?
37 seconds. They've got the ball at their own 29-yard line. They definitely have an opportunity. I think if you really want to make something happen, you do your best to try not to burn your timeouts immediately. A couple of quick outs. Hopefully, you're looking to gain about 10 or 15 yards. I expect to see zone coverage from Jacksonville here.
1st and 10 from the 29. Dunhill, quick throw. That's Siege Falco, steps out of bounds. Gain of about a couple as the clock will be frozen at 34. Second and 5 now coming up. Offset I formation for the Swarm. Dunhill throwing under pressure and spins, throwing it into coverage and incomplete. That would have been a heck of a play if Falco was able to come up with the football because, man, pressure was in Dunhill's face immediately.
Pressure in his face, and you could tell throwing off his back foot, the ball looked like it was just a little out of the way there. But, yeah, it would have been a heck of a play if he could have made it. 3rd and 5 from their own 33. They still got both timeouts in 31 seconds. It'd be interesting to see what they try to do here. I fully expect them to try to at least get the first down and see where they can go from there.
Crowd on their feet here in Jacksonville. Dunhill gonna air it out. He's got a man wide open. That's caught for first down yardage. That's Steve Falco as he is dragged down into Jacksonville territory. Timeout called. 1 remaining for the Swarm.
Just the first down. Am I kidding? Dunhill was not satisfied with that. Finding Falco down the sideline. He was still able to get him wide open. And you know what? I'm impressed. Great catch. Great route, great throw by the quarterback, a timeout. They still got some time here, and another timeout. I'm sure they'd at least like to get 3 on the board. 7 would give them the lead.
Still plenty of time to work with, and as you mentioned, Cade, that 1 timeout there, they probably want to keep that in their back pocket, though.
Yeah, ideally, you'd like to keep that in case you need to get down and kick a field goal, so getting out of bounds on these next play or 2 is crucial.
4 wideouts for Dunhill to work with. 7-step drop. He's going to throw it over the middle. That's almost picked off going the other way. I was ready for it. Chad Guy saw it the whole way, and they could not complete it.
Guy with an excellent read, and boy, they sure talk all the time about why certain guys play defense, and it hit him right in the hands. I don't know if he smelled the end zone before he made the interception, but the ball was on the turf just as quickly as it hit him in the hands.
Man, oh man, you have to imagine that was what was happening there. Just saw the end zone and just forgot one important thing. Dunhill, pressure coming, throws it over the middle. That's caught. And Falco with another catch. Ends up being a 3rd down short of the 1st down marker. Atlanta burns their final timeout with 13 seconds to go.
Well, Eric, you got to imagine if they complete this ball in bounds, they're probably only going to have enough time to try to get it down to kick a field goal. But if they can run a quick play here, maybe a quick out of bounds, just to give the field goal kicker a little bit easier of a kick. Well, it looks like they're going to go ahead and take the kick now, 3rd and 2. 13 seconds to go until halftime.
Gives them another bit of an opportunity here if anything goes wrong. This one will be from 45 for Shane Short. Good snap. Kick up on the way and through the uprights from 44 yards. The first field goal for Shane Short in his SFL career.
Great kick, Shane Short. Hey, listen, good news, SFL fans. This will not be a shutout. It is a hefty 6-3, Jacksonville leading just before halftime.
Always with the silver lining, my friend.
Of course, of course.
9 seconds on the clock here as Atlanta puts the ball on the tee. Swarm will get the second half kickoff, so those points very important here. Jacksonville fielding it right around the goal line, and Jones trying to break through and gets a good return out to the 30-yard line, but with 4 seconds left to go, probably not a whole lot they can do.
No, I'd fully expect just a run to kill the clock or even a knee here. I don't think they'll do much with it. If he gets it up to midfield, maybe they take a shot, but no need to risk it at this point. Go ahead and take your knee and be content to take a 3-point lead to halftime.
I formation. Certainly looks like they'll be content with just running the clock out. Christensen going to throw, though. He zings it out to Willis, who cannot get anywhere. Looked like he had a little bit of green grass ahead of him, but couldn't make anything of it. That ends up being the end of the first half. 6-3 your score. Jacksonville ahead of Atlanta as we will roll on into the halftime show, get a look at the first half stats and highlights. And Cade, what kind of jumped out at you during that first half?
Defense. Atlanta's defense has been resilient. Jacksonville if you total yards, 194 to Atlanta's 104. Atlanta's defense is bending, but they are not breaking, and that's been quite impressive so far in the first half.
Yeah, most definitely. Atlanta's defense has certainly kept them in the ball game here. And as we get a look at some of the highlights here, this one of the longest passes that Dunhill had. And again, it's been good defense, honestly, on both sides of the football.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. I think the vast majority of those 104 total yards came on that one play.
Yeah, absolutely. 6-3. Obviously, you're not going to get a ton of yardage, a ton of points from these offenses. Going to be a defensive struggle. But again, Atlanta keeping their offense in the game. Jacksonville not quite able to really seal the deal on some of these sustained drives that they've had.
No, not been quite able to seal the deal, and I mean, it'll be interesting to see if there's any sort of adjustments made in the second half to try to exploit what they've seen. Jacksonville, as we saw on a couple drives there, which I've made mention of a few times, was having good success with quick drops and quick dump-offs, and they got away with it, made a couple of big plays out to the side. It'll be interesting to see if maybe they saw something that they like, or maybe they get back to what was working.
We'll have to wait and see. Again, Atlanta going to get the second half kickoff as we get a look at King's Lair here in Jacksonville, Florida. A beautiful night for football as Richard Douglas is going to put the football on the tee and send it down the field to the Swarm. And everybody's ready to go here. We've got the second half of football underway here in Jacksonville. Fielded inside the 10-yard line. That's Axis, and he will bring it out to about the 26-yard line, and that is where Atlanta will take over. Cade, what sort of adjustments do you think Mark Chisholm and company are making on offense?
I think ideally they'd like to get BDG Hollywood running. I mean, they've had a tough time in the first half trying to get the run game going at all, with Hollywood just averaging a measly amount, 2.3 yards per carry. I think they'd like to do a little bit more than that, and we'll see if the adjustments can be made with the offensive line here.
Dunhill to throw to start things off into coverage, and what a catch was made there. That's Jamal Wooding with his second catch of the ball game. The other one, that big play to get them out of their own territory earlier on.
Yeah, heck of a play, heck of a throw by Dunhill and a catch by Wooding. That's one way also you can open up the run game for Hollywood. Get the ball downfield, stretch out the box, loosen up that Jacksonville defense.
You are watching the Simulation Football League. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Cade Stevens, Mike Improta, and Frank Gooden on stats tonight here in Jacksonville, as Atlanta looking to have a sustained drive and get some points on the board. And Cade, I think we might get a little out here.
Yeah, it definitely looks like pass interference. Jacksonville, the number 40 there, looks like he didn't, that's going to be J.R. Lawless, looks like he didn't get his head around in time, made contact with the receiver, and that's going to draw a flag.
Yeah, J.R. Lawless, the guilty party there, so that's going to be a first down coming up here for Atlanta. That'll certainly help them kind of move the sticks and keep things going here.
Listen, when you haven't generated too much offense so far, you move the sticks how you can move them, and a little help from the ref is never a bad thing.
Take what you can get, man. Take what you can get. Three wideouts here. Dunhill to throw. Pressure's coming. As hit as he's thrown, and it is incomplete. Man, did he get crunched there. Hunter Norwood's had a couple hits like that tonight.
Hunter Norwood has been in the backfield quite a bit, and any time Dunhill has held onto the ball longer than about 2 to 3 seconds, there's Norwood once again wreaking havoc. Dunhill's lucky he got rid of the ball just in time. They call that incomplete.
Good old Andy Hamilton likes to throw jabs at me. Throwing another one there in the chat. Did you see that one?
Oh, Andy.
2nd and 10 from the Kings' 44-yard line. Good throw and catch there to extend the drive, and that's Jamal Wooding. Cade, we might have been wrong here. Maybe we just need to get Jamal Wooding the football a little bit more.
It sounds like that is the idea that they had coming out of halftime. They are giving him the ball. They're designing good plays here to where he's getting open. They're attacking this Jacksonville defense, and Wooding so far has been the key to the success on this drive. It's interesting to see if they can keep that up.
First and 10 from the 31. Handoff to Hollywood, who's got a burst of speed up the middle of the field and out to the 23-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Hollywood might have had something to say. C. Pundy in the chat there. Wooding is a better player than Hollywood. Hollywood says, wait just a minute. I've got some gas in the tank.
Also, I will deny it, Coach Craven. We are very, very close. Cade will deny it, though.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Hollywood with another handoff and a hit of steam gets across the first down marker out to the 17-yard line into the SFL red zone. And this is the best looking drive that Atlanta has had all night.
Yeah, it's not even close. Outside of the one big play they had earlier on, this is one way you can open up the run game. As I said, they started getting the ball to Wooding, and it's loosening up that defense just a little bit.
Dunhill in trouble, and he's going to go down. Taekwon. And we haven't seen a ton of sacks tonight, Cade, but, I mean, there's been tons of pressure by Jacksonville.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot of pressure by Jacksonville. They're making, they're getting in the backfield, and they've gotten close tons of times, and Hale finally gets back there and seals the deal, taking Dunhill to the turf and giving Atlanta just a little bit of a hard 2nd and 16 here.
8th play of the drive here, 2nd and 16. Dunhill airing it out, picked off, going the other way. And Jacksonville will take over deep inside their own territory, but Bernard Gooden getting in there and making the pick.
A heck of a play by Gooden. Just a bad read by Dunhill. I think he thought he had something that he didn't, but Gooden all over that play. Great takeaway. Jacksonville once again kind of switching the narrative there.
6-3 your score. Stay with us. We'll be right back here. Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Back here live in Jacksonville, swing pass out to Jared Willis as he gets a gain of about 4. As we get a look at the top 5 leaders in passing yards last season. And we touched on it towards the top of the broadcast here, Cade. Marcus Dunhill, number 1. Christian Christensen's number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's a far cry from seeing that so far this evening. As Jacksonville and Atlanta have gone toe-to-toe defensively, these quarterbacks have looking like so far a shadow of what they produced last year. It'll be interesting to see. Maybe they can try to get this going, but both of these defenses have been really stout so far.
100%. Christensen going to air it out, though. Into coverage, and it's picked off. Going the other way is Atlanta, and into the SFL red zone. They will have beautiful field position here, courtesy of Aaron Lee, the second pick of the game.
And truth be told, Eric, Marcus Dunhill owes Aaron Lee majorly. He bailed him out after the interception that he threw. Aaron Lee sets him up with fantastic field position down on the Jacksonville 17-yard line. Atlanta's going to have an opportunity to score here.
And actually a great observation by Andy Hamilton there in the chat. Jacksonville has had trouble anytime they're trying to throw for more than maybe 10 or 11 yards, and it is on display there as Atlanta in good field position, airs it out, touchdown Siege Falco.
And that is how you draw it up right there. A nice about 10, 15-yard post to the inside. Falco splits the defenders, gets wide open, and a really nice throw by Dunhill making up for it on that one. That's going to be touchdown.
That is the siege and destroy combo there that we saw quite a bit of last season. Their first hookup of the young season 14. And Siege had he had a couple of those last season, but they'd certainly want to see more of it here in season 14.
Yeah, I got to imagine that they'd like to get him involved just a little bit more in that aspect. But, great pitch and catch there. Nice touchdown. Atlanta's offense showing up on a short field there.
Short on the field here to convert the extra point as that is up and through. 10-6 now, the score as Atlanta takes their first lead of the ball game. And that was exactly what they were looking for here, Cade.
Exactly what you're looking for. You got to be a little disappointed if you're Jacksonville, letting the first end zone trip go to the opposing team in your new city of Jacksonville, Florida. But, Kings Lair, they've still got an opportunity to defend the field here. Let's see if this next offensive possession can produce some points. I'm sure Jacksonville would like to retake the lead.
We'll see if that is the case, as they will get a good return out to about the 30-yard line, but hold the phone as we have a little laundry on the field.
This may be coming back just a little bit, Eric.
And holding on the receiving team. That will move Jacksonville back a little bit.
Crowd not too happy about that call.
Yeah, I know I didn't see it, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Looks like they're going to set up shop here at the 20-yard line, so not a huge harm for the Kings.
No, not a big loss. I'm sure they would have liked to have had what they got, but they'll move on.
Actually spotted at the 21. Christensen takes the low snap. He's going to check it down, and he's got his wide out there for about a gain of 4. And that was one of the extra wide receivers they had in the formation.
Yeah, it looked like he was just trying to run a little underneath the crosser, and truth be told, if Christensen has a few more moments and can let him come across a little further, that could have potentially been a little bit more of a gain, but 2nd and 5, you can't be too upset about that.
Hand off this time to Willis, and he's going to plow ahead for a few yards. Both these running backs have had difficulty getting going here today. And certainly both the passing offenses have been on display, sometimes good, sometimes bad.
Sometimes good and bad, and you're absolutely right. And Willis takes the ball on that last play with a full head of steam. And just kudos to the Atlanta defense, man. They hit him and took him down for just a minimal gain on what could have been much more.
And kudos again to the defense applying pressure, but an even better play by Christensen as he's able to avoid it and complete the catch and throw here.
Yeah, Christensen making moves in the pocket, throws on the run, and hits Grayson Willis for a first down on the play. They're going to move those chains again on this one, Eric. A nice play again by Willis and by Christensen.
Christensen close to 200 yards on the evening here. He's also thrown 2 picks. Little play action this time. He's going to check it down, or try to at least, to Willis, and a little bit outside of his reach. That's going to fall to the turf.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the status was on that one. I'm not sure. Maybe he got his hands wet on the sideline, forgot to dry him off completely, but that ball just completely slipped out of there and hit the turf.
That was definitely a little bit of a whoopsie ball, wasn't it?
Yeah, I would say so.
Brings up second down. Just about 6.5 minutes to go here in the third. Jacksonville, long throw, and somehow comes up with the one-handed grab. Nifty little catch there, and that was Hunter Jones making the play.
Yeah, Hunter Jones making a nice little grab, knowing full well that he's going to get hit on that play. Jacksonville looks like they're trying to get back to the quick ends. Just a 2-step drop there for Christensen. He dumped it right off, and a good catch, 3rd and 5.
Christensen going to air it out this time, and one-on-one, that's caught. Ken Gossett with another catch, this time a big-time one, as he's able to move the sticks into Atlanta territory.
This guy is absolutely outrageous. I mean, the throw is, at first glance, ill-advised. I thought it was going to be intercepted, Eric. I'm not even going to lie to you, but Gossett wrestles it away from the defender for a nice catch and a big gain.
And that was Corey Mickens out there on the coverage.
That brings Gossett up to 90 yards on the day, Eric.
Most of their passing offense, it seems. 4 wideouts. Christensen has time, going to throw it over the middle, caught close to first down yardage. They're going to mark it just shy of the marker, and that's going to be out to the 21-yard line.
Yeah, great catch, great throw again. I really like the play design there. If as they were coming across, it looked like they had about 2 or 3 receivers running a very similar route at different levels of the field. And honestly, Christensen had a couple of different options on that one, but this one's going to give him 2nd and inches. It'll be interesting to see if they try to hand it off and pick up the first down on the short yardage situation with Willis.
This is Jerry Willis territory. Instead, Christensen's going to throw. He's going to air it out over the middle. End zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
Wow, heck of a throw. Heck of a throw. It almost seems like in the second half, these offenses have come to life just a little bit, Eric.
Yes, sir. As they got the fireworks ready to go here in Duval County, Grayson Willis with the touchdown grab here. Cade, what did you see?
Well, you know what? It was a quick decision. It almost looked like that's where he wanted to go the entire time. It was about a 15-yard post end. He hit him right in the middle, in between the hash marks. Great throw, great catch. That's going to be a Jacksonville touchdown. They put up their first touchdown since moving to Northeast Florida.
That was what we called a quote-unquote laser. Extra point pending here from Richard Douglas. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up and through. 13-10 now your score here in Jacksonville as the Kings retake the lead here at home. Stay with us. We'll take a short break and step away. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and For the Fans. Back here in Jacksonville, Florida, as the Kings retake the lead, now with a 3-point lead over the Atlanta Swarm. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend, Kate Stevens. Mike Improda and Frank Gooden on stats tonight. And we are honored to be part of the first home game in SFL history here in Jacksonville, Florida, as Axis will return the football for the Swarm out to the 27-yard line. And Cade, we saw Jamal Wooding kind of come to life on that last drive by Atlanta. Do you think we're going to be seeing more of him?
I think Atlanta would be foolish not to try to design some plays to get him the ball. He's clearly making plays right now. He's been the majority part of their offense. Wooding, he can help Dunhill out here, and Dunhill's got to trust him to go make those plays.
1st and 10 for Dunhill. He's going to take a 7-step drop. He's going to air it out towards the nearest open siege. Falco with another. And that moves them into Kings territory. 35.
Well, we talked about Wooding being a primary piece of the offense, but Siege Falco has been just as equally involved. Another big play from him. It seems like he's been a big play machine. Anything Atlanta is generating over 10 to 15 yards seems like it's going to Falco. Another great pitch and catch from him.
Siege and Destroy strikes once again as they quickly move into Jacksonville territory. 1st down. Full house for the Swarm to work with this time around. It's going to be a handoff to Hollywood, picking his way through blockers, and we'll get about 4 on the play as we get a look at his numbers today. Not quite what we were expecting from the bell cow running back.
No, not at all. It's not been up to his standard. We know that, and I'm sure Atlanta would like to get a little bit more out of him. They're trying to force the ball downfield, and I think it's led to some of the turnovers they've seen with Dunhill, as they haven't got the running game going. He's not able to lean on. Really does.
Quick throw towards the near sideline, and that is a catch there as we get a look at the side-by-side comparison between number 1 and number 2 last season in passing yards. And just a ton of yards up there on the board.
Yeah, tons. I mean, the biggest negative I can see here, and Dunhill is doing his best to try to recreate that, is that he went 27 for 27 on touchdowns and interceptions. I'm sure he'd like to lower the number of interceptions this year, but keep the same kind of numbers up production-wise.
And he's going to throw it over the middle. Looked like he wanted Wooding, but that was incomplete. There was a couple different Kings defenders there that were able to knock the football down. 4th down.
And just as I said it, he looked like he tried to add another column for turnovers. We almost witnessed something interesting there.
And with 4th down coming up, looks like Atlanta is going to keep the offense on the field. I'm certainly not disappointed with this call. Dunhill trying to draw off the Kings. No one budging, and he's going to have to burn a timeout there. That's going to be the first of the second half.
Eric, truth be told, if they would have actually snapped the ball, I don't think I would have been that surprised. You're at about the 37-yard line. You're just outside of makeable field goal range. It's just a 4th and 2. You're only down by 3. I mean, your field position most of the game has not been dynamite, so I think you got to kind of take advantage of where you're at.
And from the 37, this will be a lengthy field goal try, but it looks like they're going to opt to punt. See if Atlanta can pin Jacksonville back. A high snap. Gets it away, though. Going to bounce at about the 10-yard line. Special teams is back there, and he couldn't quite stay out of the end zone. Unbelievable. Jacksonville will get it at the 20-yard line on the other side of the break. Stay with us. Simulation Football League action on 11 Sports and for the fans. Back here in Jacksonville, the Kings will get another crack at it here in the third with 3:08 left to go. 3 wideouts for Christensen to work with. He's got Jared Willis in the backfield. Christensen to throw. He's going to throw near sideline, near the first down marker. That's caught by Hunter Jones, and he'll get a good gain of 8 as he's caught every ball thrown to him tonight.
Yeah, and that was a good catch there. I mean, he got absolutely rocked after he made the catch, but he held on to the football and gave his team a nice short and second down and short here. So good catch, good secure, good reliability, you could say, from Jones.
Reliability. Is that our word of the day?
Hashtag
Christensen gonna
reliability.
throw it towards the far sideline, caught for first down. Talk about reliability. That's Ken Gossett in a nutshell.
Ken Gossett, they're not going to call it a first down. It's crazy. I think he might have got his feet in,
Oh,
but
come on.
be interesting to see if maybe they challenge it. Then sure enough, Eric, they sure do.
There it is. Yeah, Frank Gooden not satisfied with that call. He's going to have all referee 62 take another look at that. And man, just looking at it at first glance, he made that catch.
I gotta say, it certainly appeared that was the case. The ref may just not have gotten his eyes in the right place. We'll see on the replay what it looks like here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, not only 1 foot, but 2 feet inbounds, which is a little bit extra here. We'll see what the call is.
Don't even think it was close.
Yeah, the easy call there. Jacksonville not charged the timeout. They will get the completion and the first down. And that's yet another there added to Ken Gossett's resume. The crowd going wild here in Jacksonville.
Gossett racking him up. A great challenge there by head coach / owner Frank Gooden.
So first and 10 now. Setting up from the 35. Willis, the lone back. Christensen under center. Short drop. Pressure's coming. Throws it over the middle and incomplete. I think the pressure got to him on that one, Cade, and caused the ball to sail a little bit.
Yeah, the pressure was there. 99 Williams was in his face, and he just had to get rid of the ball quickly. Not quite a receiver within distance of catching the football, but he's also got to be a little bit grateful that wasn't picked off.
Ooh, and Josh Williams is a guy you do not want to mess with. 13 sacks a season ago, as he is in his 4th season in the ATL. Second down from the 35. Christensen going to throw near sideline this time. Caught. And that's going to be Grayson Willis with another catch, as he's got 7 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown.
He's well on his way to recreating some statistics he put up last year, Eric. Grayson Willis, 112 catches for over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's been a reliable target in this game as well. Reliable being the word of the evening.
Hey, there it is. Sets up a 3rd and manageable here for the Kings. Let's see what they do here. Plenty of options in the playbook. Christensen, quick throw, and that is caught. What a spin move down the sideline. Is he going to beat the defense? He'll eventually get dragged down at the 10-yard line, but man, oh man, that was a top 10 play right there, Cade.
Absolutely impressive play by Grayson Willis. We just spoke about him on the last play being a reliable target. Great catch, a nice move, and he turns on the afterburners. Just a stiff arm or two away from a touchdown on that play, Eric.
Absolutely. Could have easily broken through those couple defenders there. It looked like he was just going all the way.
It was. I really thought he was after the spin move. He left a man with some broken ankles back on the field there.
The other Willis getting involved here, that's Jared, and he could not muster really anything, as that Atlanta defense has been very tough, particularly on the run today.
Yeah, they really have. The defensive line has played extraordinarily well, and I got to give some credit as well to the defensive backs who've come up and made some tackles in the box. They're selling out to stop Jacksonville's run, and it's working for them.
Second down inside the red zone from the 11. Christensen, quick throw to Jared Willis. He's got a little bit of room, but good open field tackle is made out there by one of the extra linebackers they had. That was Bushido Brown.
Well, listen, if you can't get Willis involved effectively in the run game, another way is to swing it out to him and get it to him in the pass game. A nice gain on second down is going to give them a 3rd and manageable. They can still get a first down without scoring here, Eric.
See what happens. Christensen, pressure's coming. 1-on-1. Willis, does he make it? He does. Gets to the pylon. Touchdown, Jacksonville.
A great throw, great catch by Willis. Just a little swing out to the side. Willis, 3 receiving touchdowns last year. He's already got 1 in this game here in the first game of the season.
And man, he had all sorts of space there. Really the only one within sniffing distance, Blake Hamrick, and he just could not make the tackle. ends up being a score for Jacksonville. 8 plays, 79 yards, capped off with that 5-yard passing touchdown to Jared Willis.
And credit to Christensen on that play as well. He led the running back in a way where he gave him an opportunity to get in without going out of bounds.
Extra point up and through by Richard Douglas makes it a 10-point game in favor of Jacksonville. And they've been looking much, much better here as we get a look at the ticker here. Stay tuned. This is game 1 of 2. We've got a doubleheader coming up here on the 11 Sports family of networks and for the fans. That's going to be Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson on the call live from Buffalo. Sioux Falls will be visiting the Queen City Corsairs to wrap things up here in week number 1 of season 14. Axis with the return, trying to bounce it to the outside, doesn't really have any, and he'll get dragged down at about the 22.
Nah, not a lot doing on that return there. It'll be very interesting to see if Atlanta's going to come out here and respond to what Jacksonville was able to accomplish on the last offensive drive. These offenses have come to life just a little bit more in the second half, and if you're Atlanta, you just can't turn the ball over here. I know that's it's been out there, but Dunhill's got to protect the football.
Dunhill under center to start things off. 5-step drop. He's going to air it out. Finds a perfect hole in the defense there, and that's Jamal Wooding with another catch. I mean, he just stands up, leaps and bounds ahead of these corners out there, Cade.
Jamal Wooding, I mean, you know, the guy is beyond impressive. 6'6", 255 pounds, and for a guy that big, he sure moves quickly. That's going to be, I believe, his 3rd catch of the night, 52 yards total. The guy's, get him involved, man. He's working for him.
Yeah, 100%. Able to really outstretch over Anthony Wayo there, only 5'11", 210. That sets up Atlanta nicely with a first down. Quick throw down to the near sideline, too far out of bounds, and that's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, that one had me nervous there.
A little sweaty. And everybody get your 4s up in the chat. We have reached the end of the 3rd quarter. Last quarter incoming, 11 minutes to go. Who's going to emerge victorious? We will find out. Jacksonville on top by 10. You're watching the Simulation Football League. Stay with us. Fourth quarter ready to begin here in Jacksonville. Jacksonville Kings taking on the Atlanta Swarm. You're watching the Simulation Football League. Eric Vincent alongside my best friend Cade Stevens. Mike Improda and Frank Gooden on stats tonight. Want to thank them for all their valuable help as Dunhill's going to take a 7-step drop. He airs it out. He's thrown. It's wide open. Jamal Wooding's going to walk to the end. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Well, we talked about it, and we talked about it, and we talked about it, and they stayed getting him involved. And finally, he broke out. The defense looked lost there. I'm not sure if the safety lost him behind him. That's going to be a touchdown. Jamal Wooding.
Jeez, that was crazy. Maybe just a little bit of, I don't know if that was zone coverage there, Kay, but Wyo just completely blows the assignment.
Completely blows it. Looks like he came up expecting run. I'm not sure why they haven't been able to run the entire game, but they let Wooding out. He was absolutely free and untouched walking into the end zone.
A 3-play, 78-yard drive capped off with a 61-yard bomb from Marcus Dunhill to Jamal Wooding. Extra point pending here by Shane Short. This will get Atlanta to within 3. And it is up and through. 3-point ball game here in Jacksonville. We are not done yet. Man, oh man, this turned into a heck of a shootout here, Cade. We weren't expecting that.
Yeah, most of the first half, Eric, we traded punts and we traded defensive plays, but in the second half, both offenses have really kind of broken out a little bit. It's been exciting to see a few big plays, and I'm interested to see if Jacksonville's got a response, but Atlanta's brought it within 1 score.
Jacksonville going to get the football here. We'll see how they respond with a 3-point lead. They will bring the football up to about the 23-yard line, and that is where Jacksonville will take over. Christensen has looked good at times. He's looked a little bit shaky at times. He's thrown the football quite a bit today, though, Cade.
It was the best of times, and it was the worst of times. But as of right now, I mean, statistic-wise, if you looked at it, you'd expect him to be playing probably better than what he thought. It's 37 for 46, 80% completion percentage, but he's turned the ball over 2 times. That's affected his QBR, 93.5.
Jared Willis with the handoff to start things off, and he has had difficulty getting things going. Very impressive showing by the Atlanta Swarm defense today. That was made by Sean Diggs, that tackle there.
Yeah, Sean Diggs coming up, making a nice play, and you're absolutely right. Atlanta's defense and even Jacksonville's defense has done the same thing. They've not let either running back, BDG Hollywood or Jared Willis, get out of the box for big gains.
2nd and 9, Willis the lone back. Christensen, he's going to swing it out to Willis. One-on-one, actually 2 defenders out there as Blake Hamrick makes the tackle, but his buddy Blake Chance was out there as well.
It was the Blake and Blake show on that tackle, and a good stop, but still a good swing out, catch by Willis. 5 yards, it gives them a little bit more of a manageable 3rd down. Got the ball on their own 29-yard line.
5 yards separates the Kings from a first down here. Christensen in trouble. He's going to zing it over the middle. Caught. Hunter Jones extends the drive.
Yeah, Hunter Jones, great catch there. I mean, it looked like a pretty simple concept. They had 2 guys coming in, kind of crossing each other's paths, and they hit him. Christensen hit him almost right at the cross, and the defenders got him just enough separation for the catch. This is going to be a first down.
Christensen has time. He's going to eventually dump it off here. Tight end had to do a little bit of a run around, but eventually gets a couple yards. That was Jason Stackhouse with another catch.
Not sure if Stackhouse was even technically supposed to be a target running a route on that play. I just think he found himself in a dump-off spot when Christensen had nowhere else to go.
I definitely agree with that. Christensen not liking what he sees there at the line of scrimmage. He's going to change things up. Trips towards the bottom of the screen. Hand off to Willis. And again, he is hit right at the line of scrimmage. Offensive line really doing no favors there as Joshua Williams gets in there and makes another tackle.
Yeah, Williams, another name on that Atlanta defense. I mean, we've been calling out certain individuals, but as you said before, it's been, predominantly the entire defense making all kind of plays to stop the run here. Nothing doing for Willis on the ground.
So a 3rd and 8 now. Christensen, 5-step drop, check down, and I'm not sure that was where he was going to start things off. He got rid of the football a little quick there, Cade, And that's going to end up being a 4th down. Atlanta's going to get an opportunity to take the lead again.
I think he had a little bit more time to try to find another target, but it appeared Christensen panicked, dumped the ball off well short of the first down marker. We're used to seeing things like that in Jacksonville, unfortunately, Eric.
Unfortunately, with that other league. Another punt here for Jacksonville. Axis fields it. Nice spin move, and he'll make it out to about the 28-yard line. That's where Atlanta will take over once again. Down by 3, plenty of time. 2 timeouts to work with as well.
And this is where Jacksonville's defense most of the game has really shown out. Outside of the second half, they've let just a couple of big plays get out there, and it's gotten the best of them. You know, they don't want to do that here. Obviously, they'd like to hold on to this lead, win their first game in Jacksonville this season.
Got to look at Siege Falco out there. 6 catches, 73 yards, and a touchdown. Dunhill going to zing it out to BDG Hollywood, who gets ahead of steam and will be tackled near the sideline there. Now, look, there is a reason that BDG Hollywood has not been getting a ton of yards, not necessarily in the stat column today, but Chad Guy is a force in the middle. Look at all those tackles there.
Yeah, absolutely. A phenomenal season last season for Chad Guy. He's not, like you said, not really showing up on the stat sheet today, but his influence is definitely being felt and stopping the run here.
Siege Falco able to run a nice route and duck out of bounds. But getting back to Hollywood there and to the kind of back and forth between Hollywood and that defense, Chad Guy, really just a great offseason acquisition for the Kings to kind of shore up that hole at linebacker.
Oh, for certain. And he's provided some leadership on that defense. And you can tell with Jacksonville that they definitely seem a little bit more disciplined there. Like I said, it's been a lot of bend but not break for Jacksonville outside of a couple big plays. They're just a couple big plays away from dominating this game.
And maybe the reason that Guy just hasn't gotten on the stat column a whole lot is that guy right there, Hunter Norwood, as he's been very influential on defensive.
And Norwood is just not letting the running back get past the defensive line. And when that happens, your linebackers on the second level are not going to have a chance to stack up on that stat column.
Another handoff. BDG Hollywood has room, and he will get stood up right at the line to gain. They're going to mark him maybe a football's length shy of the first down. 3rd and inches coming up here.
That's going to be pretty close to Hollywood's longest run of the day. Just about 8-9 yards or so, but you know, he's averaging just a measly 3.4 yards a carry. I'm sure they would have liked to see more than that, but that goes right back to our linebacker Chad Guy we talked about.
Absolutely, but BDG Hollywood getting a full head of steam there, running off tackle, and that was a good-looking play there to get the first down yardage and into Jacksonville territory.
For certain. And, you know, just right after we get done churching up this defensive line a little bit, on 3rd and short, Hollywood comes up big, getting a nice gain and a first down.
And, shout out to Mitchell O'Brien there, the rookie free agent signing there at fullback, making a key block to spring Hollywood for some extra yardage and getting that first down.
Sometimes that's all you need, a little help from the big guy in front.
5:35 and counting. Dunhill throws it out. First down yardage out to Siege Falco as he's tackled out of bounds. Another great play from the Siege and Destroy combo.
Yeah, great read there. Falco gets wide open heading out. I'm not sure if that was just zone and he lost his guy, but Falco's wide open on the sideline. A great read by Dunhill there.
Yeah, it looked like Sprouse got a little lost in coverage on that one. I'm not sure what the call was on the field, but that ended up being a great play there for Atlanta as they are driving down by 3. A little bit of a pro set here. Handoff, Hollywood trying to make it to the outside there, and that is Chad Guy getting in there and making a stop. A good one-on-one open field tackle.
Yeah, good tackle indeed. He was just a couple of extra feet away from potentially getting around that corner and taking it for a lot more than just the 4 yards he gained.
Yeah, 100% correct there. There really just wasn't anybody else that could make that stop. A great stop there by Guy. Brings up second down. Dunhill, he's going to air it out. Down to the bottom of the sideline. Caught. That's Jamal Wooding once again. Touchdown Atlanta as they retake the lead.
Eric, who else would it be in this situation than your big tight end, Jamal Wooding? Jamal Wooding, we've said it 100 times over. He's a big guy at 6'6". These defensive backs, it's a clear mismatch. You throw the ball up there, and he's going to go get it.
And he is just showing out today. Over 100 yards, 2 touchdowns now. And that just caps off another great drive here by Atlanta. Super great scoring drives that they've had all game long. Eight plays, 70 yards, 25-yard passing touchdown from Dunhill to Wooding as the extra point is up and good. Still a one-possession ball game with 4:47 left to go. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports and for the fans. Stay with us. Back live in Jacksonville as Atlanta has now taken a 4-point lead over the Jacksonville Kings in their first home game in SFL history. Shane Short with the ball on the tee is going to boot it downfield. Still plenty of time here as the Kings will field it about a yard deep in their own end zone, bring it out to about the 22-yard line. And Cade, I don't think there's really any time to kind of worry. I don't think you need to sweat this as much. Like I said, plenty of time there, all 3 timeouts to work with.
More than enough time for Christian Christensen and company to get back down the field. A little over 4 minutes left, all 3 timeouts. This is the first sort of big set of adversity, I guess you could say, that they're facing in this game. It'll be interesting to see how they respond.
Christensen, 5-step drop, going to throw it into coverage, tipped in incomplete. It certainly looked like Atlanta had a better opportunity to grab that football more than Jacksonville there, and that's going to bring up second down.
Yeah, there's no time to panic now for Christensen, as we just said on the previous statement, but it looks like he tried to force one there that he got lucky. He can breathe a sigh of relief that it didn't end up in Atlanta hands.
Looked like one of 2 guys could come up with it there, Aaron Lee or Dylan Rowland. Actually looked almost like Dylan Rowland swatted it away from Aaron Lee, which would have been a head-scratcher. Willis the lone back in the backfield for Jacksonville. Christensen to throw. He's going to throw it over the middle and just a little bit too far there for Hunter Jones as it falls incomplete.
He had his guy in Jones. He was open. He just overthrew him a little bit. I'm not sure if he just didn't set his feet, but the ball was high and a little to the outside of the receiver. Didn't quite allow him to make the catch there.
Third down now. Kings not able to do anything with the football so far. We'll see what they got up their sleeve on 3rd and 10. Christensen, deep ball into the middle of the field, and it's incomplete. Great defensive stand by the Swarm defense, forcing the 3 and out.
Yeah, Dylan Rowland coming up, again, 2 plays in a row. Nice play to knock the ball away. It's just a disappointing effort there from the Jacksonville Kings. And Christian Christensen, I think he had some other options there that might have been open, and he tried to force the ball once again, knocked down by the defense.
And we've seen both quarterbacks do that a little bit tonight. Probably why it ended up being a defensive struggle to start things off. Certainly a shootout in the last maybe half or so.
Oh, for sure.
Fair catch called for and made at the 44 by Axis, and that's where Atlanta will take over. So putting the pressure on the Kings is this Atlanta Swarm defense. Now let's see what their offense has in store for them. And Cade, what would you kind of do here to kind of keep the ball in their court, so to speak?
Well, I mean, as much as the run game has been disappointing, trying to give it to BDG Hollywood most of the game, I don't see how you don't at least try a few things, whether they be swing passes or just runs to try to run this clock a little bit more.
Hollywood is going to get the handoff to start with. And, man, great penetration again by this Jacksonville defense, resulting in Hollywood trying to just bounce it outside. He does get a few on that play.
He sure does. I'm actually pretty impressed by Hollywood on the play. Hale hits him about a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and he still manages to gain 3.
Brings up 2nd and 7. 4-down lineman for the Kings. Hollywood the lone back as Dunhill is under center. Dunhill to throw, and a quick throw out to Siege Falco, who's got the first down and more, as he will get hit out of bounds, so that will stop the clock here momentarily, but a good first down conversion here by Atlanta.
Yeah, great little out route by Falco, making the catch and giving his team a crucial first down. If you're Jacksonville, you just can't allow things like that to happen this close late in the game. You've got to get a stop here if you really want to give yourself an opportunity.
4 wideouts for Dunhill to work with. He's going to take a 7-step drop. He's going to air it out. Kill shot right here, picked off. Jacksonville going the other way. Man, did Atlanta want the kill shot right there, basically. But Boo Chisholm could not come up with a football, and Michael Sprouse makes a heck of a play on defense.
Wow, Eric. That's about all I can say. I'm really taken back by the play call on that one. I think when you've got the lead and an opportunity to drain the clock a little bit more, you got to do what you can to preserve it. But, wow, a one-handed interception. Just beyond impressive by Jacksonville. That's going to give them the ball back with more than enough time to get down there and try to score a touchdown to take the lead. Field goal will not work here.
No, it will not, and I apologize. They were looking for Siege Falco, which he's been very popular today. Boo Chisholm has been very, very quiet. I don't think he's really gotten a target today.
No,
actually,
I think
one
that was
catch for 4 yards.
Oh, yeah.
Christensen going to air it out into coverage, and we're trading interceptions now. Going back the other way now is Atlanta, and that was not what you wanted to do. Blake Chance with a great opportunity for Atlanta to ice this game.
Well, if you're Christensen, you got to be disappointed in yourself on that one. I mean, the coverage was just extraordinarily good by Atlanta. They didn't really give you what you were looking for. You got to know when to make the right choice and get rid of the football and not try to force it. It resulted in a turnover, and now once again, you've got your backs against the wall.
So we're pretty much right back to where we started. 3:32 left to go here in the ball game. Hollywood with a handoff. Good blocking in front of him. Spin move back to the inside, and he will get a good gain of 7 on first down out to the Jacksonville 30.
And a good point brought up there. We've had 2 different instances in this game of back-to-back interceptions. These quarterbacks, they like trading them back and forth. I'm sure that's not doing anything for their over-under on the touchdown-interception ratio.
For any of those doing the prop bets here tonight. Pro set here for Dunhill as he is under center, content with letting that clock bleed a little bit. Hollywood with a handoff, and he is going to be marked just shy. I thought he might have gotten forward progress out across the line to gain, but Wyo made a good open field tackle, bringing up 3rd down.
Yeah, good tackle indeed. I really thought that he got there. This is going to be an incredibly crucial 3rd and inches for Jacksonville. If they want an opportunity and to give themselves enough time, I mean, you'd like to get a stop here.
Still keeps the clock rolling, though. We'll probably get one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Handoff. Hollywood gets stopped right behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose 2 yards, and that was a heck of a stand by the Jacksonville defense. They were going to get the ball back here on the other side of the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit there. Free safety Sir Chappelle coming into the backfield, making a tackle for a loss on, like I said, what was a extremely critical 3rd down.
2 minutes to go. Do you have any fingernails left? I know I don't. I've been chewing them nonstop. Stay with us. You're watching the Simulation Football League live at 11 Sports and for the fans. I see you, Marky Mark. Four-point game here with 2 minutes left to go. And Atlanta trying to make this a 7-point ball game. This will be, this is no gimme here, Cade. This is going to be a 46-yarder.
46-yarder. This is a big one.
Shane Short boots it down, up and through from 46. So they do take a 7-point lead. Jacksonville will need a touchdown to tie. Just inside of 2 minutes left to go here. 7-point ball game. Jacksonville with all 3 timeouts. Plenty of opportunity for them to tie this football game up.
Yeah, this is a big drive here. Christensen cannot get back to the mistakes that he's made on the last couple of drives.
Hunter Jones with the return, and he's going to bring it out to the 26-yard line. That was looking like might be a return for a touchdown. Minute 52. As Christensen strides up to the line. He's certainly not looking nervous. He's got 4 wideouts to work with. Willis in the backfield. Christensen throws it backwards there. Man, oh man, that was a head scratcher there as they lose a ton of yards. Tackled inbounds. Clock is running.
Extremely dangerous throw there, Eric, and it's just ticking away right now.
They're going to try it one more time here, but Willis again can only make it back to the line of scrimmage, and they have to burn a timeout. Plays a burnt timeout, and they lose 5 yards, Kate.
Another 5 yards on top of what they lost. It's a head scratcher to me right now, Eric. I'm not really sure what the idea was with the same play 2 plays in a row. The first one, an extraordinarily ill-advised throw behind you. If for some reason he misses that and it hits the ground, that's considered a fumble.
100%. 3rd and forever now. We'll see what sort of magic Christensen has. Pressure's coming. Throws it over the middle and incomplete. He was looking for Grayson Willis, who has had a few spectacular catches here today. But it is 4-down territory here, kid.
Yeah, 4-down territory. They're going to go for it. And this is your ball game, folks. If they don't make it, then Atlanta will most likely succeed in spoiling Jacksonville's first ever home game in the Northeast Florida.
Quanah Shine with some great defense on the play, forcing that incompletion. Brings up 4th down. 91 seconds left to go here in the ball game. This is pretty much it, though.
3 down. Doesn't look like they're rushing.
Christensen gonna throw it out to Willis. Willis trying to beat the open man tackle and could not. So Atlanta will get the ball on downs. And what a stand here that this Swarm defense has made.
Extraordinarily questionable calls, just play after play for Jacksonville on that series. Eric, I just don't know really what to make of it. It is good defense by Atlanta, but wow, I mean, you swing the ball to your running back 3 times. I just not sure what you're trying to accomplish on that one. I thought they were trying to win the game. Clearly, I was incorrect.
Yeah, definitely a head scratcher there. As Atlanta's going to come out in the pro set. BDG Hollywood going to get a carry here, and he's going to get about 5 or 6 yards as Jacksonville burns their second timeout. I'm not 100% sure where that was going, and it was capped off with that, or it started off with that backwards pass there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just an avalanche towards negativity, you know. That's the way that it came off, and I don't know if you just don't trust your quarterback after a couple bad drives in a row, but when you're trying to make something happen, you got to. You have no choice.
Another handoff here for Hollywood. First down will definitely ice it as Jacksonville stops him behind the line to gain. 3rd and 2 coming up, but they have used all of their timeouts. So pretty much nothing left for Jacksonville to do here as they are down by 7.
Yeah, if they somehow manage to get the ball back here and prevent a first down, they're not going to have a ton of time, and they have no timeouts left. It'd be interesting to see, but this is a big 3rd down.
Yep, ball game here. Hand off Hollywood. He's got the first down, and he's got the ball game for A heck of a game here by the Swarm to come into Jacksonville and eke out this win. 27-20 is going to be the final score.
And Eric, it's only fitting that BDG Hollywood has his best run of the game when it counted the most. That gives the Swarm a first down, and it's all but over at this point.
Absolutely, as we tick inside of 60 seconds left to go here. All but a foregone conclusion that the Swarm will come out of here with the victory. And again, don't forget, this is game 1 of 2. We've got a doubleheader tonight on 11 Sports and for the fans. Coming up next, Sioux Falls will be visiting Buffalo to take on the Queen City Corsairs. Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson will be on the call for that one. You do not want to miss that. Please stay tuned. Cade, this has been a heck of a ball game to call. It looked like we were going to get a little snooze fest to start things off, but certainly didn't end up that way.
No, not at all, Eric. An absolute worm burner going into halftime, but coming out, they big play after big play for each team. It was either feast or famine. Both teams made a lot happen, and Atlanta just made more plays happen. Jacksonville turned the ball over more times than they could afford to do so, and it cost them the football game.
27-20, the final score is Atlanta moves to 1-0, and Jacksonville falls to 0-1 on the young season 14. As we get a look at the post-game show stats and highlights, again, Cade, what kind of jumps out at you here?
Well, I mean, this is just indicative of the turnovers during the game. I mean, Jacksonville's turned the ball over 3 times, even though they led in passing yards and time of possession. It just, when you turn the ball over, when you get down in the red zone, it's not a recipe for success.
Just a heck of a second half, though, by Atlanta. They had 2 first downs going into that first half, and they end up winning the football game, outgaining the Jacksonville Kings here and coming up with the victory.
Yeah, I mean, some great plays by Atlanta. I mean, highlighted right here. A great game by Siege Falco, a great game by Jamal Wooding. Marcus Dunhill really came through. I mean, they really put together some nice plays in the second half. That Atlanta offense started humming. It'll be interesting to see going into week 2 if they can keep that momentum going.
100%. Any final thoughts before we let the people go, Cade?
Thank you all for joining us this evening. It was a lot of fun. We look forward. Remember, doubleheader, another game. We'll see you next week.
On behalf of my best friend, Cade Stevens, Mike Improda, and Frank Gooden on stats, alongside executive producer and commissioner Cameron Irvine, we want to thank you for tuning in to this presentation of the Simulation Football League. It certainly has been a great one. And as Cade mentioned, we do have Game 2 coming up here. Mike Daggs, alongside Matt Wilson, will be calling the next game coming up. Sioux Falls Sparrows taking on the Queen City Corsairs. And man, oh man, there have been plenty of fireworks here in the northeast of Florida. And Cade, it just tons of plays here. I'm not even sure who the player of the game is. It might go.
Yeah, if I'm giving anybody a player of the game, I'm going tight end number 86, Jamal Wooding. 5 catches, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns with a long of 61. The guy was an absolute difference maker for Atlanta.
Yeah, and hats off to BDG Hollywood for kind of coming in clutch towards the end there and icing the game. Shane Short with a couple great field goals as well. Just an all-around good team effort. And it looks like Jamal Wooding will be your player of the game. As Cade mentioned, 6 catches, 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, average 29 yards per catch. Once again, stay tuned. This is the Simulation Football League presented by 11 Sports. And we are on For the Fans. Game 2 coming at you next. Sioux Falls taking on Queen City.